So I'm watching some weird, seemingly, I don't know. We'll see. I'm pretty sure it's a TV movie. It's not the fact. It's not just that fact. It's so far there hasn't been a lot of hammering in, but there has been a bit, just a bit. So might get worse. I mean, it's not exactly the most stereotypical sort of. In other words, it's not exactly a rom-com, which many TV movies seem to latch onto, and it addresses such a sort of heavy topic. I mean, it is a heavy topic, about suicide, but somehow the movie still ends up being somewhat boring. I'm not sure if that is because necessarily specifically because I don't know, the acting seems to be substandard. I cannot quite pinpoint exactly what, but it seems to be substandard. Um, like I don't know, just most of it seems to be, I don't know, strange. And obviously then what really makes it boring is the fact that, oh great, here's the goddamn bible, everything can be resolved using it. Yes, totally, Mr. Preacher. Yeah, I thought so totally. It's bizarre, and it's not like, like, I'm sure many people even committed suicide because of religion, but of course they wouldn't say it, would they? Otherwise, it's a topic that needs to be addressed. I suppose it's just not entirely sure that the way it's addressed is very interesting, and not laden with propaganda, which doesn't help at all in terms of the real life aspect of suicide and such. You know, that's the thing. Also, actors say strange things, like things that don't seem to be very, I don't know, age sort of appropriate. I mean, obviously a screenwriter usually writes it with the ages in mind, and I'm not sure this was very successful here. Like, he's supposed to have a sister there, and I'm assuming, but she seems to say things that seem to be almost like a 5-year old would say. It's bizarre. Like, he's a meaner. Like, seriously. Maybe if you were, yeah, like, uh, I don't know. Yeah, but even that other guy there, he's supposed to be 18, even though he is really um I don't know. He just he's really tall. Seems like, I think that's the thing. Um, but he does seem to be, I don't know, the whole family dynamic is strange. I suppose maybe it might be because it's a religious family. It is strange, so certainly. Like, if he was truly 18, he surely he'd have more freedom than that. But no, somehow he's still in prison mentally as well, mostly. You know, and there was certainly some sort of substandard acting at any rate from him. Yeah, ironically, the one guy I think doesn't have as much seemingly bad acting as the angry guy. Yeah, the anger doesn't seem to be too artificial, as in, it seems to be let out, I guess, genuine seeming. On the other hand, whenever the other girl, like at one point she cried, Chase's supposes the former girlfriend, at one point she cried. Like, that is probably the most artificial cry I've ever seen. Like, I mean, they didn't even bother with tears or anything. Heck, then again, I'm wondering if maybe they really intended to, for her to cry artificially, as in, oh, here I'm crying, look, you made me cry, but not really, but I'm just pretending to cry, and the audience needs to understand that as well. I don't know what it is. It's really strange. Um, it's a bit bizarre movies, In a way, it's more interesting than having some sort of nonsense Christmas themed nonsense set again, hammered in with religious propaganda. Uh, so I mean, slightly more interesting than that. This still has religious propaganda, except it's about a more serious topic, as opposed to some stupid rom-com. I mean, rom-coms are always stupid. That's the problem, you know. Now there is romance here, but it's not quite in a conventional sense. I suppose there's still something else to it. So that's it. It's not a comedy at any rate, so it cannot be called a rom-com. It's a huge movie, so that's the problem. It's a long movie, and for all the hammering there is, it turns out to be boring. Yeah, that's the problem. So the weird thing, though, one of the weirdest thing, and seemingly is completely normally, at the beginning is that his sister's supposed to be called Faith, and at one point his father tells him, "I have faith in you," and I'm just thinking, what, you have his sister and him? That's very strange. It's very weird. It shouldn't happen, And yeah, apparently I just entered the uh, world of Christian movies without knowing pretty much. The title doesn't say much really of anything. Yeah, and no, yeah, as I say, they're quite. It was quite boring, and um, just you know, um, there are a few reviews on IMDb that, well, I mean a few, yeah, literally a few. Yeah, so apparently some people think bit favorably of it, but there's many viewers or raters or anything, literally uh, most voted review is just for. Anyway, yeah, um, yeah, so, someone called An Ocean Roars said that, yeah, whatever they said was indeed what seemed to be my impression, that uh, lines aren't using natural speaking, and that they seem to be reading and waiting, especially the so-called preacher. Yeah, he did that a lot. And also, there's a quite something of a review just happened in the last year by Pinar Lindy, whatever it means. Yeah, it's quite something because it's bizarrely they didn't like the movie either, but apparently they didn't like it because it wasn't bad enough. Literally, the review is all about how it could be worse. I mean, yeah, um, and it really could be worse. Like one has no idea how worse something could be. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. With regards to the ending, that was one of the most ridiculous endings. Yeah, yeah. Like, what? Using a condom as a balloon to inflate? Wow. Yeah, that's quite some fruit. Yeah. Um, quite some bizarre nonsense. Yeah. Yeah. Not even sure what the point of that is. Apart from, I guess, making a point. Yeah, I'm assuming they were just making a point. Yeah. It's a bizarre movie. I don't know if I don't think it dealt with suicide too intelligently, but yeah, I don't know. Um, just at least they didn't blame him too much. They didn't say that he's damned eternally or whatever. That would be sort of the worst response that religious people usually give. So I guess it could always be worse. Yeah, always worse. Definitely always worse. And yeah, this is definitely a TV movie, isn't it? It is barely any viewers at all. Barely. Some people compared it to Hallmark movies, which they are, I guess. Although I've only ever seen rom-coms from there so far, so I'm not entirely sure how it compares to any other. Anyway, yeah.